All right, let's get into some hard numbers. Let's start with North Korea.
North Korea, 0. 0 is the number for North Korea. 0 is the number of times that North Korean leader Kim Jong-Un has met with a foreign head of state since taking power since 2011. Not even Chinese President Xi Jinping has had any FaceTime alone with Supreme Dear Leader, which is sort of curious and weird, but it also makes it very difficult to reach some kind of solution to the nuclear crisis because no one knows what Kim wants directly from his mouth.
Why wouldn't the Chinese press for it? I don't get that. Why wouldn't the Chinese press for a meeting?
Presumably they have. Presumably they have.
And they get turned down?
I'm going to play devil's advocate, because once you have a meeting, then you need to progress in some way.
Right.
And maybe, you know, the status quo works for China to a certain degree. Just going to throw it out there.
Also possible.
Okay, so this is the number that I like, 48.
48 million Twitter users are not actual human beings.
I know we talked about that the other day.
Which is astounding. I mean, if we talk about the power of data and the vulnerabilities there. I mean, if you consider the extent to which social media reality shapes our perceptions of reality,
yes,
it would be very nice to know who you're dealing with is human or not, right? A bot or an actual human being. So that's an astounding number. I think it's something like 15% of active users on Twitter.
I'll tell you
we talked about hashtag release the memo,
we did.
right?
And I'll tell you this. This is purely subjective, but outside of people who are in our business, who do what you do, friends that I have who are in other businesses, other industries, in other parts of this country, they do not have Twitter accounts. They do not use Twitter. When I say, hey, check out my latest piece that I tweeted, they're like, I'm not on Twitter. Like, send me a link through email. And I find it really remarkable that I can talk to journalists and media people and entertainers and musicians, and they're all on Twitter. But regular folks that I talk to, generally, even my own family's not on Twitter.
Makes you wonder.
Not one person in my family's on Twitter.
They live better that way. They definitely live better
They're
that
real
way.
people.
Yeah, they're real people. They're not bots. All right. So 716.
Yes, $716 billion is the defense appropriation request that we're going to get from the Trump administration. To put that number in perspective, that would be more than the defense budgets of the next dozen countries combined. Wow. The increase alone that they're asking from last year to this year, which I think is about $80 billion, is greater than Russia's entire defense budget, right? So when we talk about U.S. influence in the world slipping, that's always needs to be put in a very relative context, right? I mean, the U.S. from a security and military perspective is still by far the world's largest superpower and will remain so for many years to come.
But to hear politicians, we're falling apart. We can't pay for anything. We got nothing that works. None of the ships work. None of the planes fly.
Exactly.
But yeah, a very interesting number. Alex Kliment, always great to have you, man. This is great.
Pleasure's all
Appreciate it.
mine. Thank you, guys.